Investigation by BBC Wales has found that the four main political parties have received almost £500,000 of public money over the last 2 years to pay for constituency offices. They're used by Welsh Assembly members and MPs. None of the claims breaks any rules, but the Taxpayers Alliance, which campaigns for lower taxes, said the figure was a staggering amount of money.
Rent. It's a pain and an expensive one at that. Unless, of course, you can claim it all back from the taxpayers and the landlord happens to be your own party.
Take this office in Gorseinon. It's off the High Street, just round the corner, and it's shared by the local Labour Member of Parliament and Assembly member.
It's owned by the Labour Party, who last year were paid nearly £17,000 in rent, a figure that covered rates and some other bills too.
Now, just as it happens, a few hundred yards away, there's an empty office right on the High Street, a huge shop front on the High Street. I've just come off the phone to the letting agents, and they tell me I could have all of this office for rent of £6,000 a year.
So what do I get for £6,000 then?
Well, for this specific unit, we are quoting... we're quoting £8,000 per annum, but I think realistically, the way the market has turned back or slowed down, I think we're going to receive potential rental offers of about £6,000 per annum.
Gower Labour Party point out that the House of Commons Fees Office assessed the level of rent that should be paid in Gorseinon. They deemed it reasonable. All in all, Labour as landlord has taken around £174,000 in rent over the past 2 years. In Caernarfon, accounts show that last year Plaid Cymru's outstanding mortgage on this building was just over £5,000. They could well have paid that off by now, given that in 2007 to 8, Hywel Williams MP and Alan Fred Jones AM paid the party rent of some £16,000 between them. All other bills were claimed separately. Plaid has been paid a total of £108,000 by its elected members in rental payments over the past 2 years. They, in turn, of course, claim it back from the public purse. Plaid say there's a procedure in place for assessing the market rental value of offices, which is undertaken professionally and independently.
And this building in Cardiff, it's HQ for the Welsh Conservatives, but is also home to the office of Jonathan Morgan AM, who pays rent to the party.
His bill last year? £8,700, a contribution to the £107,000 the party was paid in rent over the past 2 years. And then there's the offices of Montgomeryshire MP Lembit Opic and AM Mick Bates in Newtown. They're owned outright by the Liberal Democrats, who 3 years ago received a total of over £30,000 in rent and other office costs. We asked to see the rental agreement. There isn't one. Had the party taken independent advice before setting the rate? They hadn't. After all, a local estate agent pointed us to this building bang in the centre of Newtown. Offices on all 3 floors. The rent? Just £10,000. The Lib Dems say they made no money from the deal. The money had been spent on refurbishing the building, making it safe and acceptable for staff and visitors. Or, in other words, improving a building they already own.
If there's any suspicion of wrongdoing or paying above market rents in order to benefit a political party, we need an investigation and we need a full explanation from the individuals as to why this has happened. We need tighter controls on office space. We need to monitor how much is being paid in office rent to ensure that these sort of abuses don't occur in future.
Some claim a lot in rent, others very little. Some have transparent agreements with their parties, others don't. The kind of disparity and fog an independent panel reviewing Assembly members' pay and allowances will almost certainly want to clear.